What in the...
Lickers are among the most iconic enemies that Leon and Claire will have to deal with during the events of the game Resident Evil 2. Blind monstrosities that stick to the walls and ceilings, these creatures are what happens to certain individuals when the T-virus is left unchecked in their bodies. From their dagger-like teeth to their razor-sharp claws, these beasts have evolved to occupy the very top of the food chain, picking off any who step into their territory with their exceptionally powerful tongues.
What in God's name?
Unfortunately, despite the popularity of these creatures, we actually don't know too much about their creation. Based off certain documents, they appear to be a variation of zombies, not altogether dissimilar from the Crimson Heads that appeared at the Spencer Mansion. But while the Crimson Heads were the result of a dormancy within the body of the host, it's been suggested that lickers are the result of the creature consuming large quantities of biomass. Like the Crimson Heads, lickers appear to be derived from the Epsilon strain of the T-virus, the same strain of the virus that birthed the Tyrants and other such monstrosities. As for who created this yet further offshoot of Epsilon, or what they hoped to accomplish with it though, we can't say for certain. What we do know for certain, however, is that once the requirements for becoming a licker were met, a zombie would slowly undergo the transformation. The creature's brain would begin to expand, to the point of it consuming the bulk of their head and removing their ability to see. Their skin would begin to deteriorate, peeling off and exposing their now deformed muscular structure, enabling them to move on all fours much more easily. And of course, they would develop their eponymous tongues, powerful appendages used to rope in unsuspecting prey.
What the hell was that thing?
This is essentially everything we know about the process of a person becoming a licker. And even though insight into them is quite limited, tales of the ferocity and threats of these bioweapons would grow like wildfire, drumming up interest in the most vile of places, with those who dabbled in the black market wanting a chance to own one of these vicious creatures themselves. This would lead to a company known as Tricell attempting to replicate the creatures of legend almost a decade later in Africa, creating these abominations in hopes of making a killing on the black markets. These beasts would be inferior to their original brethren, however, excelling only in their ability to breed and expand the species. Further experimentation would grant a human the ability to control these powerful BOWs. With the implementation of a Las Plagas parasite, lickers would become the puppets of anyone who'd taken a dominant species plaga into their bodies, though the process was not without its side effects for the master. Regardless of where these creatures may have ended up, however, the lickers that originated in Raccoon City are a terrifying force to go up against. Sharp claws, dagger-like teeth, and a tongue strong enough to pierce the body, these BOWs are not to be taken lightly. And while you may be able to tiptoe around them when the opportunity presents itself, once they've noticed your presence, only one of you will be leaving the RPD alive.